This amp is like a dream. Dave Friedman and the Arredondo family have teamed up to bring you the Jose head. Now the Jose head is really several amps all rolled into one. You start with a 60s era 100-watt Plexi, and then Dave curated all of those amazing mods that Jose Arredondo pioneered. And Dave presents them in really an easy to use, clean fashion so that you can dial in bits and pieces of these and create your ultimate Jose mod head. The Jose head features your standard bass, middle, treble, and 2 volume controls. The bright volume control labeled 1 and the fat, dark, bassy volume control labeled volume 2. As well as a presence control, not a presence control, 2 presence controls. It's switchable, they're not working at the same time. So it's a newer style and a vintage style. You'll see N-Pres and V-Pres, new and vintage. The vintage presence has a little more cut and sharp high end, where the new presence actually brings up a big fat section of the body of sound as well. It's gonna feel fatter overall. When you switch from Plex to drive, that activates the extra tube drive section. That drive knob is now at your disposal, as well as the fat switch. If you take off drive mode and go back to Plex, drive comes out, as well as the fat. It does not work without drive being engaged. That's a whole nother gain stage. That is the key to the Jose mod sound. It adds tons of gain, but not only gain, it adds fatness and it rounds off the top end, adds additional girth to the bottom end. It's a bit of a tone control within the gain as well. So speaking of tone control, if you're a hard rock player, you're probably going to want to lean on this volume 1 knob for most of your level and leave volume 2 off. If you want to fatnerize your sound, go in to that volume 2, or if you're going for a cleaner sound, you could start with volume 2, adjust your EQ, and then bring up volume 1, which you'll hear quickly has a lot of presence and a lot of mids and highs, and you just kind of blend that in to taste. The gain style switch unlocks more of the Jose mod magic. Switching to the left or right introduces clipping diodes. The mod that is activated when you switch the gain style to the right is tighter and has a more pronounced upper mid-range bite. The mod that's activated when you switch to the left has a much deeper bottom end and more gain. When you're in this position, it activates the pre-EQ master volume, which will be controlling your master volume at this point. Let me explain. When the gain style is in the center or to the right, it uses the post master volume. When the gain style is switched to the left, it uses the pre-EQ master volume. It's an either or thing, so be careful where you have it set. If you have a bedroom volume and you switch over and the other is at rockstar volume, be careful. Here's an example of the pure amp tone, no mods engaged. This is just a nice, classic, clean tone that the Jose is capable of. I started off with gain 2, brought in gain 1, and adjusted the EQ accordingly. If you turn up the master volume all the way, it disengages from the circuit. Then you turn up volume 1 all the way, and it delivers that brown sound. A little more humane and realistic, turn the master volume back below noon. It's still going to be crazy loud. It's 100 watt. Turn that down, turn on the drive switch, which activates that Jose mod. That's going to bring you back all of that good gushy stuff that you get by cranking the amp up. This setting is a classic Jose mod, not super high gain, but very versatile and enough gain to rock out in almost any genre. Remember, if you're looking for some extra gain for some juicy leads, you could always reach over to that volume 2 knob and turn that up. It brings in a little more gain, a little more roundness to the sound, but it does bring in a bit of a looser bottom. Flip the gain style switch to the right, and now you've activated another classic Jose mod. This one adds clipping diodes. The tone of this, as I mentioned before, is a lot more present and has upper mid-range, but it brings on more gain than that down the middle classic mode. The mod to the left, clipping diodes, big bottom. It is just the Enormo mod. Really big, more gain, humongous, and feels so good under the fingers. Volume 1 has a bright cap on it, so above 8 it's going to sound full, but as you dial it back and get closer to 8 and below, it's going to tighten up and get a little bright. This is a nice kind of tone trick that you can tighten up your sound. You'll lose a little gain, but everything gets kind of tight and more aggressive. So that is our first take with the Friedman Arredondo Jose head. It makes historic rock sounds available to you in a beautiful tribute to a man who was a true innovator and helped develop what we know as rock guitar tones. I know the folks at Friedman are busy building these. There is a mailing list on the Friedman website, and that is where you will buy the amp direct from Friedman. So I will put links below, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate you checking out the video, and I will see you later with more Jose videos.